What is up, everybody? It's Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the creditrepairshop.com. And in today's video, we're going to briefly just talk about a settlement that came in late yesterday for a client. And I believe that it's important because what I want to kind of go over with you is what happened with this client, like the mindset, the ups and downs, how he was feeling, how he was always calling into the office about what's going on. Let me take a quick drink here. So now this is one of business clients, and um, there's certain accounts that I do get involved with the settlements. If it's smaller amounts, uh, the staff usually handles those, and they handle some of these bigger ones too. But this client has over I think 140,000 in credit card debt. Does not want to file bankruptcy. Went back and forth. Uh, I mean, had a lot of ups and downs. I actually put his message here in a copy of the letter so you can see it. But let me just start at the beginning on when people, there's a lot of emotions that goes into when, number one, when people have bad credit, but when you have something like this where you have $140,000 in credit card debt staring down at you and you do not want to file bankruptcy, and there's various reasons on why an individual can't file bankruptcy. Some people can't, but a lot of people can't because they want to protect assets that they currently have. They own a home. There's just certain things that they don't want to do, and they don't want to get trapped into a Chapter 13 bankruptcy where they're making payments. And it's people stop paying their payments because they have trouble making payments. And regardless if you go into a Chapter 13 bankruptcy or if you're going to try to struggle to make payments, the key thing is that you don't have money to make the payments. And so when he came to me and he said, "This is my situation," he asked me, "Well, what should he do?" I said, "Well, I can't advise you on really what you should do. I'll just tell you the options that I believe you should look at." And I said, "You need to get with an attorney to see if potentially you might need to do bankruptcy because he suffered huge financial losses due to number one, a vendor ripping off his business, and then number two, with COVID, just a total downturn in his business." And I said, "You need to look and see if that might be an option for you, and don't be afraid to at least seek out and get information on that with an attorney on filing Chapter 7 bankruptcy." He reviewed that and he said, "I just don't want to do it." He had some religious reasons behind it. And I said, "Don't let your religion, uh, you're down here right now and you need to focus on what's going to help you and your family be able to survive." And he would talk to me about having high blood pressure, can't sleep, not being able to speak with his wife, worrying about them losing their house, worried about ruining his wife's credit because a lot of the stuff that he had did was also part of it was in her name. So all of these things come up, and you've probably had some discussions or thoughts like that in your mind. It's like a person is trapped, and then what they do is they seek out help. And so when he decided to go with our company to get help on this, uh, and this was probably about 8 months ago. And I said, "Well, number one, the first thing that's going to have to happen, first thing that's going to have to happen is all of the credit cards are going to have to charge off, that they're not going to be working out deals on settlements unless it goes through the process of charging off." And he was like, "Well, why?" And I was like, That's their rule." And that's what I try to, that's what I talk about here on my videos is that some of the times people think that the people that they go to the help for makes the rules on what another company has to do, and it doesn't work that way. there's a process that you have to go through. And when it comes to settling credit card debt, they're going to have to go through a process of charging off the debt. Now, one lucky thing that I saw with this one here with the settlement, which I did not anticipate, because the normal route is where they'll usually charge off the debt and then they will go into this gray area on if they're going to either hire a collector to try to collect it, or they're going to try to settle it with a batch. And that's where it really gets frustrating, because they're not doing anything during that time. So what we did is I said, okay, the strategy is we're going to just keep approaching the companies about doing the settlements, but they're not going to make any moves until they charge them off. So 6 months later, they ended up charging them off. And now 2 months after that, settlement offers are starting to come in. And we got the first one here. And it was directly from the credit card company, which is something that usually doesn't happen. They usually um, will try to get you to make payments, or where they're going to say we'll give you a payment that you can afford. We'll close the card out, but you just pay this payment, and they want you to pay the whole balance. He did not want to do that. So what we did is we used a strategy of just contacting them over and over again. They even played games a lot of the times where we were contacting them. They would call him and say no one's contacted them, and we did a three-way call with them on the phone with him on there, and he was quiet. And then we said everything to them, and then they called him back 2 or 3 days later and said that no one contacted them about the debt. This is the game that they play. And if you're not willing to buckle down and not allow yourself to get frustrated, you're never going to get your stuff resolved. And it's a lot of back and forth work. And people have to just get it in their mind that it's going to get done when it gets done. Well, this one here, they came with an extremely good settlement, because what we had targeted for this specific account was $3,500 for the settlement. The original balance on it was $12,840.34. We had targeted $3,500 on this settlement, and they actually came back yesterday and they accepted a one-time lump sum payment. And they even gave more than 10 days. They gave almost 25 days to pay the payment for $2,824.88. So you can see that things are opening up on these settlements, and they're look like they're even being a lot more lenient. And I think that this is because a lot of the companies got money from the bailouts that was going on, or something. I don't know. But this was an extremely good settlement, and I told him, you better have this over there right away. Don't play any games, so we can move on to the next one. Now, the strategy, before I end the video, the strategy that we're using for him, he doesn't want to file bankruptcy. We're working on getting information removed off his credit report, but that does not make the debt go away. And the strategy that we're using for making that debt go away off of his credit reports is that we're using a strategy that they're reporting inaccurate information due to the balances, because they're sending him documentation that shows different balances, and then they're reporting on his credit report other balances. That could be like a technicality to get it removed. Also, they did not state that it was charged off. They did not state that it's being uh, disputed with a validation process with them on the amount that they're claiming. So that information can get removed off of the reports, but it does not make the debt go away. They could still could have chose to sue him in court. But what we did by sending them the information, they did not take him to court. It's been 8 months now, and now we had the first company that has made a reasonable settlement agreement. There's been other ones, but they've been a lot higher. But this is the first one, and this is what you got to do. And I make this video just to prove it to you that this is what it takes. It takes hard work, depending on your situation, on what you're going through with your credit, what you're going through with your debt. It could take a longer period of time, and you need to be willing to step up to the fence, so to speak, on uh, understanding that depending on what you are going through with your credit, what you're going through with your debt, that could extend the period of time that it's going to take to get the job done. So if you need help with your credit, please visit us at thecreditrepairshop.com. Please watch the video, What Makes Us Different, because that is exactly the process that we're going to go through to get your credit repaired. If you cannot follow that, please don't sign up with our company, choose someone else. If you need your credit reports and scores, and you better get your credit reports and scores because everything starts there. That is the information, that is the fuel that you'll need to be able to fight back against debt collectors, creditors, whoever has negative information on your credit reports. Go to the website your3scores.com and keep that monitoring service. I'd really appreciate it because that's what we use if you choose to come to our company to repair your credit. So this is and then below here also I have other resources, the debt validation letter, that statute of limitations letter. I give all of those away for free. This is Stephen A. Williams, President and founder of the creditrepairshop.com. Thank you, and until next time, and congratulations to this client who got this excellent settlement so he can be able to move forward on to the other debt issues that he has right in front of him.